Hey, what's going on, everybody? I wasn't going to do a video today, but I decided, you know what? Theta is actually breaking above this downward resistance line right here. Um, so remember I talked about this yesterday. I gave three different ideas on what could potentially happen. All those ideas are still on the table, but it's nice to see that we are getting more progress and sort of kind of leaning towards the green route, but I want to see some more follow through. If we can get um, another about $1.10, $1.11, then I'm going to be looking at the green route as opposed to the purple route. But right now, I'm still looking at all three. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I tweeted out yesterday this right here. And basically, what I was saying is look, this yellow line in here right here, this yellow box is strong. Is a strong area for resistance, right? This was previous support, right? And when we broke below, you could see the reaction, right? We came up, retested it almost, came back down, and now we're slicing through it. So we'll see if we can confirm it. I mean, you could see yesterday at the time of this screenshot was 90 cents. So now we're sitting at 98, 99 cents, which is a good thing, right? So what does that mean? Does that mean we're going with the green route, right? Basically, the green route is, let me zoom in here. Um, we break through this yellow box, right, which is our resistance, and we're actually doing that right now, by the way. We come down and we back test the um, the resistance as the new support. So here's your area where it was support before it broke down, right? And then when you back test it, then you want to confirm it, right, by breaking above this swing high. So boom, right? So basically this is would be our first wave, right? Our second wave, and then looking for wave 3. Um I'm not really a fan of that just because I mean it's crypto, right? Crypto it surprises you and it defies the laws of physics all the time, right? But at the same time you're like, well, we're still technically in a bear market, but we are looking very bullish. The way you would say, okay, we're no longer in a bear market is if Bitcoin can break through those retracement levels, and the same with the rest of the market, right? Right now we are retracing higher and higher and it feels great, but to confirm a new bull run, right? That would be if we can get through the retracement levels. I like to say a bull market is short term and a bull run is more long term. So you can technically say right now this is a bull market. We are in a market that is bullish, right? But in order to have a bull run, in order for the bull to run, it needs to get through the retracement levels. So I would still like to see, and call me crazy, but I would still like to see this purple route. And that would be basically coming up, we're at $1, right? We run right into the resistance. We come up and then we just pull back. Now, I said pull back 50%. A couple people got confused. I should clarify, not 50%, right? I'm talking 50% of this wave right here. So, for example, this is the wave right here. Same thing here. This is the wave. So if you cut it in half, that would be 50% of this wave, right? So that's what I'm saying. So not a 50% drop. That would be devastating, right? If we were at $1 and we dropped 50%, then we're looking, at this red route option, which is still on the table too, by the way. So that's the thing. So I know most people would probably want the green route. Let's just go and get it over with. And I'm totally cool with that. Statistically, it's not likely to happen, but totally plausible. Totally plausible. I mean, just look at what Theta's been doing this whole week. It's surprising everybody, right? And I know all the OG Theta crowd is like, didn't surprise me. I knew this was coming, right? And that's true, right? I mean, people who really know Theta inside and out, this is no surprise to them, not even a little bit. It because it's rightfully taking its percentage gains, it's rightfully taking what it deserves. And if you look at the rest of the market, like I was trading Theta and Filecoin, and I like to sort of be kind of even in my trades. And I sold a little bit of my Theta, not my HODL. Never. So let me clarify. Never sell your HODL position. That's different, right? So for me, it's 90% HODL, 10% trade. So, and in that 10%, I have like, maybe 3% Filecoin, 3% XRP, maybe 4% Theta. But then as Theta is rocking and rolling and the other coins are sort of stagnant, then I want to rotate some of that in there to get that in hopes that they come up and reach those same levels, right? Doesn't have to be. It's a little. It's basically the art of rotation. It doesn't mean you like Filecoin more because you sold Theta. It's basically you're rotating your position in hopes for more percentages points, right? Because for me, at the end of the day, it's not about the coin. It's about percentages. That's all that I'm here for, right? Theta can be a meme coin. Theta can be, the new reserve currency of the world. It doesn't matter. For me, I'm looking for percentages. And the best way you get those percentages is utility, right? Right now, we're not in a utility driven market, we're in a speculative driven market. But at the same time, the utility tokens will win. And Theta, in my opinion, has unbelievable amounts of utility, right? It's not just a chart with that's fluctuating in price. It's a real asset that has utility, right? And I'm not going to go into all that, but you know what I'm saying. It's a good thing to hold. So as far as trading in and out, doesn't matter if it's the best asset in the world. When you're trading a small percentage, you want to take your profit. And you never sell all of it, of course, right? So I could have sold, maybe 30%. And then we come up to this line and then you sell another 30%, right? And then if we come back down, then you put that 30% back in here and reload it. So it really depends. But that's a topic for another day. Right now, I want to know, is it the green, is it the purple, or is it the red? So we're going to look at the actual chart. So if you just take a mental screenshot of that. Okay, boom. And now look at where we're at. So this is the updated chart. This is today. That chart that I was just showing was yesterday. So if I take a trend and I put it right here, you could totally see we are breaking out not only of the yellow box, kind of, sort of, but also the downward resistance line. Now it's subjective where you could put this box. I try to put it as close as I can to the bodies of the candles. So if I wanted to be even more conservative, I'd say right about there. And then in which case we're not broken out, right? We're still in this yellow box. And yesterday I said this yellow box between 92 and 95 all the way up to about 98 cents is a good area for price to start taking a deep breath and maybe starting to cool off a bit. It doesn't have to. Like I said, we can do the green path, right? The green path would suggest we continue breaking higher, right? Challenging this area here before coming down, perhaps back testing this area, because this is a strong area, right? If any area needed to be back tested, it would be the top of these waves and these support areas in here, which right now is still resistance. We still haven't broken it, so we have to wait and see. But all options are still on the table. Just bringing you this video because, I mean, if you look at XRP, it's down 1%. Filecoin's up 0.5%. HBAR up 3.38%. Casper 1.3%. Bitcoin 1.5%. But then you go to Theta and it's another 6.3%, right? And then, you know, same thing with yesterday, it was like 7%, 8%. So 2 days in a row we had a 6%, 8%, and now another 6% move. So it's looking good here for the price of Theta. Now, this is just a random list that I was currently looking at. You see Algorand, not even 1%. So the other one that is even coming close is Tron, right? Tron is up 6.3% as well. But look, the majority, Ethereum, Dogecoin, Pepe, the majority of these coins, Hex, Zcash, they're nowhere even close to Theta, right? And these are just random assets that that I was taking a look at. So yeah, I think Theta is in a remarkable position. Now let's zoom out and look at the big picture here. I'll go to the 3-day chart. I mean, you can clearly see we're starting to bottom out here. And remember, like I've said before, this is just the more it continues to pump, the more it continues to validate this Wyckoff accumulation pattern. Now, if you look at this as this is the range, and then you take a Fibonacci, right? Take a Fibonacci from the top of the range to the bottom of the range, right? And we are coming at that 50% line right here. So this would be the 50%, and look at that perfectly, 98 cents here. So we are entering the golden pocket. So this would be the golden pocket area, right? Which is that 50% area. So a lot can happen in the golden pocket, right? This is where euphoria starts to pour back in. This is where sentiment starts to change. This is where longs start to be closed. This is where shorts start to be open. This is where people start to FOMO. There's a tornado of decisions that come in this area, right? Money pouring into the market, money pouring out of the market. So basically, it needs to decide, are we going to come down and break it, or are we just going to slice right through it and come down and back test it before continuing to rise? Either way, it's looking very bullish, right? So, in my opinion, I think a lot has to do with Bitcoin as well. If Bitcoin remains steady, I think we have a good shot at making it to the 618. So, is this a legitimate breakout, which I believe it is, and it's coming to be, or is this just a 618 retrace, right? So going back to that red pathway, which typically this would be 1, 2, 3, and then we're in the middle of 4, and 4 can come as high as $1.12. Probably not too high, right? You don't want to break this. You don't want to break that if it is following the red path, right? Before coming down in wave 5. So you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if 4 gets too big, then it just becomes a breakout, which I believe that's the case because of everything we talked about, which is Wyckoff, right? Wyckoff accumulation. You have this first high, second high, then you're going into your spring. You grab that liquidity, and now you're accelerating to the upside. So let's see what happens. We're still in, we're in that 50% line. I mean, look at this, 99 cents now. I mean, that's a strong bullish candle. So going back to what I tweeted out, at the moment, it feels like, and it looks like we're following the green path where we break above that support, that resistance box, and maybe back test and continue to rise. If we can't get through the box, then we want to look at the purple route where we come down and maybe retrace. Now let's talk about that. So at the moment, I mean, it looks like it's the green route. I mean, it looks and it feels like it's the green route, which is breaking above, back testing the support box, which is currently resistance right now, and then breaking out. But we could still do the purple route, which would be a retrace. So talking about that real quick, look at the 2-hour chart. I mean, it just looks it looks like it's starting. You could see one of the really cool guys, he passed away. I can't remember his name. I think his name is Tyler Jenks. He was a part of the hyperwave theory, where basically you have like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and then the parabolic phase, phase 5, right? And then you have 6 and 7, and then it returns to the mean, right? Not saying this chart, I'm just giving you an example, but basically hyperwave. So for example, the 2017 bull market for Bitcoin was a hyperwave. So just looking at the 2-hour chart, it looks like it still wants to pump, right? I mean, it looks very strong. It looks like it just wants to keep marching to the upside, in which case we would be looking at that green route. So let's see if we can start to challenge, right? We're in this area here, right? But let's see if we can start to challenge this area. That'll be the real test right there. And if whatever reason, we start stalling out over the next couple days at or around the price we're at right now, maybe we go up a little higher to $1.10. We come back down and we back test this area before challenging this area. I would still consider that to be a part of the purple route, right? And I'm still looking at some type of inverse head and shoulders pattern. In which case, if this is going to be an inverse head and shoulders, which I think it has a really good shot, then this is what we want to see right here. Check this out. And this is, I think, has a really good shot. So this is what it would be right here. So this is your left shoulder. This is your head, right? We develop the head, And the head still has to come all the way up to the previous degree of these left shoulders, right? And then we come down for the right shoulder, right? I don't know how deep it can go. It can go between maybe in the 80s. I would guess between 70 and 85 cents. I know it's a big range, but right shoulders are sometimes tricky. So basically, there you go. I think this scenario is got to be definitely in the top, right? And this would sort of still fall under the purple route / green route where you come up. I don't know if it ends here, or maybe we just keep going and we break out when we don't ever stop, right? That could happen too. Anything can happen. But in my opinion, we have this left shoulder, we have this head. I think we got maybe a little further to go. Let's see if we can get up into this resistance area, then start to stall out, pull back a little bit, start developing this right shoulder, and then go to the moon. See, one of the things I talked about yesterday was sustainability. Everybody wants the price to do this. The problem is when it does that, it collapses on itself. We don't want that. We want sustainability. So anytime you break a major resistance, right, you want to come down and back test it. Or if you run into that resistance, you want to come down and sort of cup into the resistance, right? When you see price doing this, that's bullish. If you see price doing this, that's bearish, right? Because here's your resistance. You're knocking on the door. The more times you hit the door, the more likely you're going to break out. Same thing with support. You're hitting support. Eventually, you break below. So there you go. Up or down is always the case. Not financial advice. Look at that. $1. We just cracked $1 as I'm recording this video. Maybe I should have went live. I've never done a live video. Live videos are a totally different animal, even though I don't do any editing at all. This is just me recording my thoughts on my smartphone. Basically, I have a Samsung Galaxy, and I don't have no fancy microphone or fancy recording system or editing skills. I have none of that. I'm just basically screen sharing my cell phone and showing you what I think are some good ideas. And at the time of doing this is the 4-hour chart, by the way. We just cracked $1. And remember, $1 is a big psychological number. So we could have some psychological resistance coming in here, right? But, or we can just continue to crack through. So remember this day right here where we had this beautiful three-way pullback, right? Markets like to move in threes and fives. 1, 2, 3. And what happened? We had this big wick at the bottom, and THETA recovered very strongly. A lot of coins are still in this area, right? But THETA recovered very strongly. It came all the way back up, and then it came down, and then it created this, if you can see, let me take everything off. You could see right here, what does that look like to you? You have your shoulder, you have your head, and then you have your shoulder, right? You have an inverse head and shoulders, and there's your neckline. We broke above the neckline, right? We pulled back, and then we continued rocking it to the upside. So, yeah, I think your guess is as good as mine where the price starts to stall out. But remember, if price starts to stall out, like right here, it stalled out a little bit, but then it kept going up. Stalled out a little bit, but then it kept going up. It's stalling out a little bit last night. right? And then it pulled back up. So, you know what I mean? So anything's possible. So anyway, um, going back to what I tweeted yesterday, just basically this is still on the table. We can hit between $1 to $1.10. We're already at $1, so we can hit between $1.10 to $1.20, or we pull back now. But the way it looks very strong. So I'm thinking we probably have potentially a little more upside to go before that pullback comes, and we start back testing some key areas. So yeah, it's looking very good for Theta. I wasn't going to do a video today. It was actually we were going to go out and go to the park and hang out. It's my son's birthday today. He's officially 2 years old. So we're going to go have some fun and go to his grandparents' house and just have some fun and visit and open up some presents and have a good time. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy your Friday. Have a great weekend and celebrate. You know, this is a good milestone, right? We talked about Wyckoff accumulation and the spring and how it reacted following the spring. That is a good sign for it completing the pattern. And completing the pattern is a full-on breakout above $1.50 and beyond that. So let's see what happens. I'm excited. Let's go. Until next time, thank you for watching the video. If you can, please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. All that stuff helps out, especially someone like me who, doesn't do this often. Starting to do it more and more. We'll see where the channel goes. But yeah, one like is the equivalent of 20 likes on someone who has like 50,000 subscribers. So like, for example, if somebody has 50,000 or 100,000 subscribers and they have one like, the algorithm thinks, it's one like. But if you have, not even 500 subscribers and you leave a like, it's like the equivalent of giving somebody 20 likes. So it's kind of weird how those analytics work. But the more people I can reach, the more people can understand charts and fall in love how I did. And really, it's about preserving your capital at the end of the day and protecting your wealth and growing it wherever possible. And figuring out the best assets to do that is the key. And, Theta is definitely on the top of the list as far as utility-driven assets that will one day potentially give a generational wealth type of deal, right? So that's the way I'm playing it. I'm looking for generational wealth. I'm looking for my portfolio to continue to rise, and that has to, and that means we have to deal with bear markets. All of us have dealt with a 2 to 3 year bear market, price just bleeding and bleeding, and everybody has to deal with it. Everybody has to go through it. You have to look at your portfolio taking a massive hit, right? And you just got to bite your tongue and deal with it and understand that it's all opportunity, right? When one door opens, another one, when one door closes, another one opens. So if the door closes and the price drops, look at it as a door opening for a buying opportunity, right? So bear markets are where millionaires are made. Always remember that. So thank you guys again. I'm going to go have some fun and hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Take care. And remember, not financial advice. I will see you on the next one.